Cartoon shows were way better back then, and that's a hill I'm more than willing to die on. And if you disagree, you're wrong. Lamau. Ben 10 stars 10-year-old Ben Tennyson, who is spending his summer vacation on a road trip across the United States on board of the Rust Bucket, with his grandpa Max and his cousin Gwen, where he accidentally stumbles across this mysterious alien-made device that straps itself permanently to Ben's wrist, giving him the power to transform in 10 different superpowered aliens. Ben 10 was first conceptualized and written by the renowned group Men of Action, composed by comic book writers Joe Casey, Joe Kelly, Duncan Rouleau, and Steven Seagal. T. Seagal. You might know them from Generator Rex, another classic cartoon show that is terribly underrated and should never been cancelled. I'm still not over it. Originally, Ben 10 was going to be this kid with a seemingly standard watch that gave him the power to transform into 10 different superpowered heroes, Shazam style. But rapidly the concept changed to monsters, humanoid aliens, and only then it became what we know of today, opting for aliens with vastly different body plans and giving each one a species and a planet of origin. These were no longer Ben's exclusive superpower transformations, they were just species living somewhere out in space, which helped a lot with the world building and building up the J.J. Abrams mystery box that was the Omnitrix. The first episode aired on December 27th, 2005, and if you remember waking up on a Saturday morning just to catch up with the latest Ben 10 episode, the march towards death doesn't get any slower. The first episode introduces us to Benjamin Tennyson. The Ben 10 name comes after the you-know-what. He has the heart of a hero, just like me for real. But he is a loser and gets his ass handed to him while trying to help this other kid with his bullying problem. He gets straight up hung by his underwear.
Thanks a lot. I was just trying to help. Next time you want to play hero, make sure you can back it up.
Just like me for real. Major skill issue on Ben's part, let's be honest, if he had found the watch. And here is when we get introduced to our star cast. Benjamin Tennyson as Ben Tennyson, Maxwell Tennyson as Grandpa Max, and Gwendolyn Tennyson as Gwen. Actually, I'm not sure if Gwen is a Tennyson, but I'm pretty sure she is. On Earth, Ben is infuriated. He hates that his grandpa brought his cousin along to their annual summer trip and goes for a walk to cool off. Ben and Gwen outright hate each other's guts and spend most of their time bickering. However, Ben is nearly always the instigator, because Ben is a little shit. Meanwhile, in space, a full-on chase scene takes place, where this mysterious spaceship with the mysterious Omnitrix is being chased by this bigger ship. Vilgax's ship. You know, this little guy. This is Vilgax, he's pretty cool. Vilgax is like if Thanos and Davy Jones had a kid that is scarier than both of them combined. A skilled space warlord with a dark past. The smaller ship gets beat up a little bit and launches a safe pod with a watch to Earth. Vilgax gets blown up, which fucks him up a little bit, leaving him benched for the majority of the first season. Back to Earth, Ben has found a watch and it's freaking out, accidentally transforming into Heat Blast and causing a forest fire. Grandpa and Gwen rush to the fire, assuming it was Ben who caused the fire, because once again, Ben is a dumbass. Shortly after, Gwen finds Ben and immediately throws hands.
Don't even think about it, freak.
Ben? Is that you?
And it's only after Ben insults her that she realizes, oh shit, this is my cousin. It's pretty funny. Grandpa Max arrives just in time to calm everyone down, but he is acting kinda sus.
Think he's gonna stay a monster forever?
He's not a monster. He's an alien. I mean, look at him.
I have a hunch, I think he might know more than he lets on. After getting high grounded, Vilgax has to send robots, goons, and bounty hunters in his place to Earth to retrieve the watch, what occupies Ben for the majority of the first season. Jokes aside, this is pretty cool and quite unique for a kids show. Usually the bad guy just doesn't go after the hero simply because he doesn't want to, or because he thinks it's beneath him. But Vilgax really likes to get his hands dirty. He just can't, because he got blown up and as it stands, he is just a head and a little bit of a torso floating on liquid. I could keep going on and on about the story because it's honestly really damn good, but we have reached the point where I'm gonna be talking about the aliens and presenting the aliens like a fangirl, okay? We get the previously mentioned Heat Blast. He is a magma rock built dude that controls fire and shoots fireballs and heat blasts people. We have Forearms, a dude with 4 eyes, 4 arms, and he is hella strong red and I really like him.
Let's wrestle!
We have Stinkfly, one of my favorites as a kid. He is a fly dude with a stinger, he shoots goo, and allegedly he smells bad, but I can't really prove that through the screen, so I'll let the characters in world describe the smell.
Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Spew on me, and you better learn to fly quick.
Ghost Freak, another one of my favorites. He's straight up Danny Phantom. He is a dude with the power of a ghost. He can phase through walls, go invisible, possess people, you know. He is pretty cool.
You want to see something really scary?
Wild Mutt, my hands down all-time favorite alien from Ben 10. I don't know what this blind mutt does to me, but I really like him.
Ew. 2 words. Breath mints.
He is pretty fucking cool. He is basically a bloodhound on steroids. He is blind, but he is able to smell everything around him and sense vibrations and whatnot. He's a great tracker. Then we have XLR... Accelerate! Oh my god, how clever! We have Upgrade, a biotech creature who can take over machines and technology. And in a real-life situation, he would be terrifying. He could just control the whole planet if he felt like it. Next we have Diamond Head. Not actually diamonds, he is actually a silicon-based life form, as described in the Ben 10 wiki. We have also Grey Matter, the biggest brain in the smallest frame. He is just smart. I don't know what to tell you. And last but not least, we have Ripjaws. He is just badass. He is if mermaids were cool. You know? This is what I wish a mermaid would look like. And these are just the original 10. However, the Omnitrix, as powerful as it is, it's not an ultimate win button. It has some limitations. Ben can only transform for 10 minutes at a time and has another 10-minute recharge time between uses. And because of this, Ben always wants to go for the big, strong aliens like Diamond Head and Forearms. Because, let's be honest, most of the problems in the show could be fixed pretty damn fast if Ben just turned the bad guy into a French bulldog. But the watch tends to malfunction, often giving Ben the wrong alien, forcing him to come up with clever ways to use every alien's special abilities. Another cool detail is that Ben is a child, so naturally his transformations will also resemble younger versions of the existing alien species. Something really funny about all of this is that we get many different voice actors to voice the many different aliens, but they are all voicing Ben.
But really, it's all in a day's work for... No way! A gold sumo slammer card! Where'd you get it?
Ben acts like how an actual 10-year-old would act if given this amount of power. He just wants to have fun, do a little bit of trolling, maybe a little bit of misguidance even. What can be funny? But it gets to hilarious levels when it's the hulking monster doing it.
If you wanted to be truly helpful, a Glavonic mechamorph would have been more appropriate.
She means upgrade.
Yeah, well, you're not the boss of me.
Ben can be a little shit when he really wants to, and constantly lets his powers get to his head, so Grandpa Max has to ground him a little bit, and Gwen tends to bully him a lot, calling him short.
Sorry. I heard the baby banana boats are fun for the smaller set.
A lot. The show also blesses us with a series of fun yet memorable reoccurring villains besides the big boy himself. We get Dr. Anemo, the mad scientist who controls genetically altered animals. The wizard Paxlord and his niece Charmcaster. Believe me, the shitpost names become a reoccurring theme too. We also have this group who calls themselves the Organization.
A well-financed secret society dedicated to collecting alien technology. Hey, when you've been around as long as I have, you pick up a few things.
Later renamed to the Forever Knights. That sounds a little bit cooler, but also less mysterious, so I don't know how to feel about it. And the fan favorite, Kevin Ethan Levin. Kevin E. Levin. He has powers too, he can absorb and control energy, but unlike Ben, he didn't have a parental figure to guide him in the right direction. In fact, his parents allegedly casted him out, or so he says. So he became this loner who uses his powers for nothing more than personal gain. In this one episode, Ben decides to use Ghost Freak's powers to sneak into a closed event to have early access to a video game. But he gets caught pretty fast, getting the trio kicked out from a hotel Grandpa Max has already paid for. This makes Grandpa Max upset, because Ben keeps using his powers very irresponsibly. Grandpa is way more patient than me, I would just pull a flash move on him. Ben sees this as just Grandpa Max overreacting, and goes against Max's wishes and leaves the rust bucket to go on a walk. Gwen, being the smart one, follows him to make sure he doesn't get himself in any more trouble than he already has. He goes to an arcade where he meets Kevin. Gwen warns Ben that Kevin is a shady guy because nobody who claims to be too cool for school actually is. But Ben is like, "But Gwen, he is for real, no cap, too cool for school." Gwen just gives up on him after this and goes back to the rust bucket where Grandpa is now mad and waiting for both of them.
Where's Ben?
Ben and Kevin go on to engage in a little bit of misguidance with the law. They break into this facility to steal the unreleased game Ben wanted to play in the beginning of the episode. And the situation escalates immediately. A SWAT team shows up in seconds and opens fire on these two kids. Ben is okay with stealing from the rich, but later when Kevin suggests that they could redirect to train lines to make the trains collide, killing everyone on board, Ben draws the line. I don't know for what kids this was made for not killing a bunch of innocent people being the baseline to just someone as a good person. I mean, I suppose if you don't kill a bunch of people, you're not as bad as you could be. This gave origin to a memorable fight between Ben and Kevin. Kevin finds out that he can absorb the Omnitrix energy, giving him access to some of Ben's powers, plus his own. So Kevin 11! Oh my god, so smart! Ben is way more experienced with his own abilities, so naturally he wins the fight, but not everything is good. Grandpa Max is glad that Ben made the right choice, not killing a bunch of people, Omni-Man style, but he is still disappointed. Max has always been a beacon of niceness, always patient with the kids, even when they have been bickering for hours. That seeing him this upset with Ben could be a turning point for Ben as a character.
I'm sorry, Grandpa. For everything.
I know you are. You're my grandson and nothing will ever change that. But my trust is something you'll have to earn back.
And that brings me to my next point. This episode does a great job at presenting these characters at a deeper level, but it also outlines a problem me and a lot of other people have with the show. Some of the lessons Ben learns start to repeat themselves. The episode ends like this, but in the next episode everything is back to normal. I think in Ben 10 it bothers me because the story moves forward at a consistent pace. Meanwhile, sometimes Ben stagnates in some aspects of his growth, and sometimes walks them back. We see him get better at using his powers and using them in more clever ways, while him as a character, personality-wise, remains the same. According to my research, the studio wanted Ben to remain the cocky 10-year-old because that would be more relatable for the target audience. And that's a valid point. Except, not really. It's not something that would make me throw my TV out the window and order a drone strike on the writers. But it makes me drop a few of these every time I watch the show. Gladly, this doesn't really hinder the story too much. Speaking of which, it is top-notch, and always unfolds its plot in very clever ways. Grandpa Max might be the one sitting on the driver's seat, but the Omnitrix is the MacGuffin that drives the story forward. MacGuffin that we barely know anything about. As a matter of fact, nobody in the Ben 10 universe really knows much about it. And apparently, so much so, nobody knows where it came from or who built it.
It's disturbing how little you know of this alien's strengths or weaknesses. You barely scratched the surface of its potential. Yeah, so what makes you such an expert? You're... me? Wrong.
And by the way, this is Tetrax, a Petrosapien just like Diamond Head. He shits on Ben and dunks on him a couple times. He's pretty cool. When fighting this low-level criminal who got upgraded by Vilgax, Ben uses upgrade to take control over the robber cybernetics, and that's when Vilgax presents himself to Ben for the first time.
It seemed so real. He looked right at me and said, "I'm coming for you now."
Change of plan. We're hitting the road right now.
We don't have time for that, Grandpa! Vilgax is back! And better than ever. He made upgrades to himself to better fight Ben's aliens. Once again, Vilgax likes to get his hands dirty.
Believe me when I say, you do not want to pick a fight with Vilgax.
How do you know his name is Vilgax?
Grandpa? What aren't you telling us?
Ben gets easily captured, so Max takes Gwen and heads to his old plumber facility hidden in the Mount Rushmore.
But let's just say, I wasn't exactly your normal plumber before I retired.
Now that's a plumber I can vibe with. Max wasn't your ordinary plumber. He was a capital P plumber, a member of a secret organization tasked with protecting the world against extraterrestrial threats. If you think Grandpa Max is cool now, you should have seen him in his prime. He fought Vilgax before. He straight up strapped him to a nuke and sent him into his own ship. Damn, Grandpa, take it easy on him, goddamn. Meanwhile, Ben, on board of Vilgax's ship, is being waterboarded with exposition.
You hold the key to a power struggle so ancient, so vast, it is beyond your feeble comprehension.
But wait, can you hear that? It's the Rust Bucket! Hand off my grandson, Vilgax! Ka-chow! They save Ben and blow up Vilgax for the third time. A thrilling finale for the first season. As the story progresses, we see Ben getting new aliens, and seeing Ben getting used to a new alien's body plan is always fun.
So what do you think he does? So much for breathing fire.
He gets a new alien just by messing with the watch or accidentally unlocking it, or by collecting DNA samples. We get Cannonbolt! Very cool, another one of my favorites. We have Vegan's Nightmare Wild Vine. We get Upchuck. He has the power to consume inorganic matter and shoot it out in explosive blasts. The self-cloning Ditto. The horror-themed aliens Benwolf, Mummy, and the Frankenstrike. It's never clear what the name is, because in some older iterations they called him Ben Victor, and in later iterations of Ben 10 they called him Frankenstrike. So, there you go. Who never got much screen time, let's be honest. The spooky themed aliens, you never really get to see them much. And last, the Eye Guy. So many eyes, too bad I can fucking see him. He appears in one episode, 2 if you count the special, and depending on where you live, different aliens appear in that scene. So it's either 1 or twice that you see him, ever, in the original show. Another really fun thing is that Ben 10 sometimes tends to incorporate real-life events into its plot. For example, the UFO that crash-landed on Roswell. Do you guys know that? Yeah, Grandpa Max f***ed the alien that landed on Roswell. I'm not joking, it is canon.
But we'll always have Roswell.
That's what they mean. Max f***ed the alien. Even in his late 50s, he has the plumber riz.
In the meantime, you'll be our guest. We'll use the time to catch up. So you guys don't mind cleaning up, do you?
In this one episode, Ben starts crushing hard on this girl called Kai.
But could this trip get any more...
The granddaughter of another retired plumber. However, he's just attracted only to his Ben Wolf transformation and completely loses interest every time he goes back to just being Ben.
You seem like a nice guy, but you're just not my type.
Huh? I thought you really liked me.
Well, that was before you turned back into, well, you.
What's wrong with me?
Nothing. And the alien stuff's cool, just not as cool as when you were a Yenal douche. I figured I could train you, tame you, you know.
She might be a furry though, I don't know. Getting sidelined in favor of yourself in another body is crazy. You are disappointing the lineage, man. Look at Grandpa Max.
But my trust is something you'll have to earn back.
Where are those plumber genes, my guy? Ben and Gwen might outright hate each other, but they do care about each other as well, constantly having small wholesome moments.
You can't talk to my cousin like that.
Thanks.
Only I can talk to my cousin like that.
Anyway, Kevin is back and starts causing havoc in the streets, posing as Ben, but gets caught by the real G, who beats him using harsh truth.
Get back here and fight, Tennyson! I'm not through with you yet!
But I'm through with you. You're not worth it. You never were.
This causes Kevin to get really angry and transforms into this weird amalgamation of Ben's aliens, unable to transform back. But he kept the emo hair though, so he is still somewhat recognizable, I suppose. In the second season, Ben keeps messing with the watch, not learning from his past mistakes. But this time, he overrides the 10-minute restriction, allowing him to transform from alien to alien in quick succession without having to worry about a timeout. This becomes very useful when Kevin and Vilgax join forces to hunt him down. Vilgax wants the watch, and Kevin just wants to outright kill Ben. In this episode, Ben gets trapped in the Null Void with the emo duo, so Gwen volunteers to go and rescue him and gets captured as well, so Ben surrenders the Omnitrix to save Gwen. Personally, I love this scene where they forcefully take the Omnitrix from Ben's wrist, and you see that the Omnitrix has fused itself to Ben after so many uses. Looks painful, but also metal as shit. But don't worry, he gets the watch back after Gwen bamboozles the three of them. Actually, she gave them a live grenade. Arguably, Ben was OP in that episode. But if you think that's OP, just check this other episode out. It's Grandpa Max's 60th birthday. A mysterious figure comes through a portal and brings Ben and Gwen to the future. How is this all related? I don't know, you'll see that later. This mysterious figure turns out to be Gwen from the future, who has brought them here to help Ben from the future. Ben 10,000, the hero of heroes. Help with what? Vilgax? Kevin 11,000? None of the above! Older Ben has become so obsessed with keeping everyone safe that he has become an incel. He has become this jerk to everyone and doesn't really want to spend time with Grandpa on his birthday. So they brought younger Ben to knock some sense into him, but they forgot that this version of Ben is also a little shit.
Cool move, huh? Wanna race?
No, those days are over.
Well, what I'm over is being a hero if this is how I turn out. I am such a jerk!
And yes, they do fight Vilgax and we get to see some aliens Ben has unlocked over the years and how Ben's full potential looks like. By the way, it is implied that at some point Ben killed Vilgax, not only killed him, completely destroyed him. Like, Vilgax became a pile of mush. And only after Dr. Animal revived him, he was able to now in the future fight Ben again. Older Ben realizes the error of his ways eventually and is able to appreciate the value of spending quality time with family outside of work. Before they head back home, older Ben gives younger Ben this little box.
Something I should have gotten Grandpa 20 years ago.
When they come back, it turns out to be a cake! It's a cake!
I mean, we got you a cake. Happy birthday, Grandpa.
For Grandpa Max! Oh my god, it's so fucking cute! Remember when I talked about Ben stagnating as a character? Yes, that gets particularly frustrating as the show goes on. Ben is always thinking and acting as if he was the only capable one in the group.
Gwen and I can help.
That's funny, Grandpa. I'm out of here.
even when Grandpa Max starts gearing up with plumber tech. And quite frankly, even if he didn't, he would still be strong as fuck, like, excuse me? And Gwen starts experimenting with magic after getting this lucky charm from Pax Lord. She temporarily becomes this other hero called Lucky Girl, that's pretty neat. The series ended with a direct-to-TV movie, Ben 10: The Secret of the Omnitrix. And the animation in this movie is superb. After a fight with Dr. Animo, an explosion caused the Omnitrix to initiate a self-destruction sequence. Tetrax, the Petrosapien from before, takes Ben and then Gwen after she snuck into Tetrax's ship in a search for Azimuth, the alleged creator of the Omnitrix, so he can fix the Omnitrix and stop it from exploding the entire universe. But then again, nobody knows who he is or if he even exists. They are going on faith alone. They find a kind of signature on the back of the watch that leads them to a high security prison, where we see all sorts of aliens. Some of them aliens Ben can transform into, which is pretty cool, makes this universe look alive. But this turns out to be a fake lead left by Azimuth's assistant.
I didn't officially create the Omnitrix.
What? You mean you're not the...
Egocentric, selfish, self-promoting, oh aren't I so brilliant creator of the Omnitrix? No, I'm Myax, his assistant.
At some point, Ben thinks Gwen died after an encounter with some aliens from the same species as Wildvine. We see Ben for the first time in a state we have never seen him before. We find Azimuth and he turns out to be this nihilistic guy who just wants to see the universe burn. It is in this part of the movie that we figure out that Azimuth did not create the Omnitrix to be a weapon at all. It is in fact a tool for mutual understanding, allowing you to walk in other species' shoes. However, the Omnitrix started being used as a weapon, and as a countermeasure to this, Azimuth coded a kill switch that would destroy the whole universe in case people just were not able to get along. If you're not able to understand other species, you'll never find peace, therefore might as well destroy everything.
I don't know why you don't want to help us, but my cousin sacrificed her life to stop this thing.
That is none of my concern.
It is now.
Let's roll!
So Ben, thinking Gwen died for nothing and the universe is about to explode, he goes apeshit on Azimuth and straight up tries to kill Azimuth with his own hands. But as it turns out, that was just a suit and Azimuth is actually a Galvan, the same species as Grey Matter. Very neat. Who eventually agrees to help Ben and even gives him this new transformation who allows him to just throw Vilgax in space. They do allow Ben to grow in this movie, realizing the value of his family and that he actually cares for people. I guess the writers waited for this finale to allow Ben to grow as a character. Although the movie had this very clear high-budget animation, the show is not that far behind. The grainy backgrounds combined with the iconic designs, it's chef's kiss. I love the grainy backgrounds. At least to me personally, this was the definitive Ben 10 art style. I can respect the art styles that follow, for the most part, but to me, it peaked the first time around in 2005. That's where it peaked. This applies to the Omnitrix as well. Shut up, I know the lore implications. But to me, the original is just so alien. I love it. It feels like an alien device that just happens to resemble an Earth watch. It just peaked. I don't care. It's not every time that I revisit something from my childhood and I come out thinking it's even better than I remember. It's a classic for a reason, because regardless of its flaws, it's still amazing. It is something people who grew up with it will remember forever, for its story, plot, interesting and memorable characters, and art style. Ben 10, at least to me, is the definitive answer to the question, what superhero would you like to be? I mean, you have all the coolest powers ever stored conveniently on a little watch on your wrist. I'm not above giving a cop-out answer, that's all I'm saying. If given the chance, I will be Ben 10. And I would recommend revisiting or watching it if you never had seen it. But if you made it this far, you probably did. I don't know if I'm going to make videos talking about the sequels. Probably not. But anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you liked it. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.